Was haben wir jetzt? Wir haben, was ist das hier? Der Josef
Professor
Dallmayr.
Barclay's Ludwig contact.
Okay, ist ein Ludwig-Kontakt, okay.
Hallo?
Hallo, sind Sie Herr Josef Dallmayr?
Yeah, you must be Grace Nakimura, the American history student.
Yes,
I hear you're interested in Ludwig II.
very.
Good. There's something I want to show you. Drive to Berg on Starnberger See. Meet me at the Memorial Chapel.
All right, thank you.
Oh, wait. Was there anything you wanted me to look into before we meet?
Well, I was hoping you knew something about someone called the Black Wolf. He was a contemporary of Ludwig's. He lived in Prussia, I think, and he was well connected.
Never heard of him, but I'll check. See you there.
Thanks. Bye.
Ich sehe das gerade. Soll echt Beverly Hills Cop 4 kommen? Ich hab's hier, da gerade offen. Und dann Agathe Bauer für später. Okay. Gut. Ja, ich habe mich auch gerade gewundert.
There's nothing. I'm not. Nothing.
Okay. Ja, jetzt sehe ich es auch gerade. Was sind denn eigentlich Peps? Ich habe keinen Plan. Was ist das? Für die, die es gerade nicht mitgekriegt haben, ist das hier unten. Keine Ahnung.
Was geht denn da ab jetzt? Scheiße, die Bullen, Alter. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Haben wir noch Peps dabei? Haben wir die noch?
Das ist doch mal Verarsche, oder?
Gar nichts mehr? Gar keine mehr? Gar kein Peps mehr? 2 noch? Boah, die werden jetzt ultramäßig geflickt, ja? Sieht man auch nicht allen Tagen. Mein Cousin hat oft mit der Polizei zu tun, privat aber. Aber ich meine, kann man nichts machen, ne? Wer ein Smiley zu viel macht, der hat irgendwann auch nichts mehr zu lachen. Aber die wissen, was die da machen, so. Aber ich mag Polizei nicht. Blendet mich voll, fuck mich mal nicht ab, ja? Haben wir noch Peps? Ne? Wer hat den letzten genommen? Hast du die Peps noch genommen? Hallo, hast du die Peps noch genommen? Ich schwöre, der will mich flachsen. Haben wir keine mehr? Der sagt auch nichts. Der spricht kein Deutsch. Der ist ein bisschen ein Otto geworden, aber ich habe Respekt vor dem. Der hat Daumen gemacht, ist okay. So muss man erstmal machen können. Aber ich hätte jetzt Bock auf Peps. Mein Cousin hat immer, wäre der jetzt hier, boah, wir würden so peppen. Ist das der Mars? Ich schwöre, dass ich den noch erleben darf. Unnormal, ja?
What the Hölle?
Ritter ancestors, I assume. Like the lion. Und wir haben einen neuen Ort.
guck mal, hier gibt es auch einen Speedometer hier oben.
It's a memorial chapel.
This is where he died. You must be Grace. Herr Dahlmeier.
Hello.
Josef. I didn't mean to startle you. I wanted you to see it. I feel him here the most, you know, more than at the castle. So, what did you want to know?
Er fühlt ihn hier am stärksten. Ach Gott.
Professor Barclay says your hobby is Ludwig.
Yes. He was the last real king that Bavaria had. As a Bavarian and a history buff, well, that's enough to hook me right there.
But there's more, right?
He was a romantic, you know, a dreamer. And he was misunderstood, maligned. And
Sounds like you can relate.
me? Hell, I have it easy. At least I live in the 1990s. And not every eye in the country is on me. But yes, I can relate.
You know about Ludwig's diary, right?
Of course.
How can I get my hands on it?
I'm sorry. I have been trying myself for 5 years. They keep it locked up tight in the Royal Archives and they don't let it out. They must think it contains things that will hurt his image.
They won't let anyone see it, not ever?
Only one person outside of the government ever got to see it, a biographer, Sir Richmond Chapel. He had friends among the German royals and they let him look at it.
Did you ever try to contact Chapel? Pick his brain?
No? And I don't believe I never thought of that. If you do and you find out anything, you must share.
It's a promise. Tell me about Ludwig.
I don't know where to start. There's so much. Politically, the most significant thing about Ludwig II was that he signed over independent Bavarian statehood to Prussia in 1870. Bavaria became a part of United Germany, and Ludwig became a figurehead prince under the Prussian Kaiser.
Why do you think he did that?
Bavaria had been involved in the 100 Years' War. People were tired of fighting. Prussia's push to unite the German states made some amount of sense. Still, Ludwig must have had other options. At the very least, he should have negotiated better terms.
So what was the real reason?
He was manipulated by Bismarck. At least that's what I think, anyway.
What about Ludwig personally?
You'll find two perspectives on Ludwig. The view the tourists get is the romantic ideal, Ludwig the tormented loner. Then there is the historian's point of view. Ludwig was plagued with guilt over his sexual orientation and was driven mad with self-loathing.
But I take it you're not buying either point of view.
Well, it's all too convenient, isn't it? That he was a devout Catholic, there is no question, and I'm sure there were pressures on him to be normal. But he was no prude. He loved Byron. Yes. Philosophy, the French court. If anything, Ludwig was too much an egomaniac. He didn't give a damn what anyone thought. And besides, he didn't try to hide any of his relationships. If he suffered from anything in his romantic life, it was disillusionment. No one loved him back as purely as he himself loved.
Well, if it wasn't sexual guilt that tormented him, what was it?
I don't know. His diary was filled with self-guilt, but I'm sure it's not about that. If I knew, I'd write my own book, set the record straight, so to speak.
Have you read anything about Ludwig's midnight sleigh rides?
Oh, would that have been something? To be out at night and suddenly see him sweep by with his entourage? They say the night agitated Ludwig, and that being outdoors and the rushing feeling of the sleigh calmed him down. Sometimes even the sleigh wasn't enough. He would stop in some remote woods, order his servants to stay put, and go wandering off by himself for hours. It drove the servants crazy.
Tell me about Bismarck.
Bismarck. He was the Prussian Kaiser's chancellor. Not a nice man. Bismarck had a reputation for learning people's weaknesses and manipulating them. It's a matter of record that he had spies on Ludwig's staff. He may even have had a henchman even closer to the king. And he was involved in the conspiracy to declare Ludwig insane.
Did you find out anything about the Black Wolf?
I did. I'd read about him before, but I hadn't realized that was who you were talking about. His name was Godin, Paul Godin. I found a reference to his being called the Black Wolf after you telephoned.
I've never heard of him. Who was he?
Godin lived on the fringes of the Prussian court. He was handsome, charming, dangerous, or so they say. He was variously rumored to have been a foreign prince, a Prussian spy, even an assassin. Since you were interested in him, I found out some things that are probably true. It said he came from abroad in the mid-1800s, but claimed high German blood.
Do you know where he came from?
No. And he was ruthlessly ambitious. He probably found out who held the power, Bismarck, and offered his services. Bismarck was a good judge of talent, of that sort anyway.
What else do you know about Godin?
He must have done something remarkable. Bismarck was not a generous man. He liked to string people along with promises, but rarely came through. He did for Godin, though. He gave him a royal title and lands in 1863. And that was the last reference I found to him.
Well, how could he just disappear?
It's not that unusual. Back then, when you were given a title, you usually changed your name and moved to a place where no one knew your past, so you could act with impunity. Or be a pompous ass and get away with it.
Aber da habe ich doch nichts von dem Titel, oder?
Is there any way to find out what Godin was called after he got his title?
Is it that critical?
It might be.
Well, you could send away for a copy of the entitlement deed, assuming it has been destroyed during one of the wars. Godin's new name would be on it. But you would need a research permit from the government to access those records, and they can be very hard to get. A lot of red tape.
Great. What do you know about Ludwig's hunting accident?
A couple of years ago, I was introduced to this great old man, a real old-world farmer. Well, his grandfather was Richard Horning, Ludwig's equestrian. Oh, he told some great Ludwig stories. Sometimes I get lucky. Anyway, he said that after the hunting accident, Ludwig got terribly ill, that he had a fever and was acting crazy. They were afraid that the wolf had been carrying a disease or that the bite had gone septic.
A wolf bit him?
Yeah, it's not so unusual. There were a lot of wolves in the Alps back then. The servants were really worried, but Ludwig recovered, physically anyway. Horning's grandfather said it was the fever that broke Ludwig's mind, that he was worse than ever after that.
What do you mean Ludwig got worse after the accident?
Ludwig always had been a very private person. But after the accident, he got darker, more crazy. Towards the end, he was even forcing his servants to enter his chambers bent over so they couldn't see his face. Horning's grandfather said his temper was fearsome. He would fly into a rage at the least mistake.
Must have been terrified of him.
Yes, well. Horning's grandfather felt sorry for Ludwig, and Ludwig hated his own violence. He was always giving gifts to his servants to apologize.
You mentioned that there were other reasons why Ludwig's servants feared him.
Ah, that's another of Horning's mysteries. There's a story about Neuschwanstein. Apparently, there was a period of time of 2 or 3 months when Wagner would come and visit him
Wagner?
there. Yeah. The two would lock themselves in the singers' hall. Horning's grandfather said the sounds that came from there were awful. Well, the servants had superstitious minds anyway. Some of them quit over it, just walked away.
What kind of sounds?
Horning's grandfather called them heartbreaking and ungodly. Maybe it was Wagner trying to sing.
Well, I guess that's all for now. Thanks for your help.
It's my pleasure. And if you ever want to talk again, just give me a call. I'll meet you down.
I will. Thanks.
Servus.
Well, bye.
I wonder what it felt like under there. I wonder. Grace Nakimura.
Ludwig, König von Bayern.
This is where they found Ludwig's body. This is. I wonder what it.
War hier nicht noch irgendwas?
I wonder what it felt like. I wonder.
Schabber dich. So, dann gucken wir mal.
Hi, Gerda. I'm back. Good. Gerda?
Yes.
Gerda, do you have any idea where I could get a government research permit? I don't have time for a lot of red tape.
You should ask Herr Über. He can maybe get such things very fast.
You think? I was gonna write Gabriel today anyway.
Okay. Okay, das ist die Eintrittskarte. Ah, hier ist der Typ. Und da ist eine Telefonnummer, okay. Dadurch. Ist auf der ersten Seite. Nee, nicht mittendrin, auf der ersten Seite. Oh, der Fehler.
Hallo, Bertel München.
Hi, I have a book of yours on Ludwig II. The author's name is Sir Richmond Chapel.
Yes, how can I help you?
Well, I'm doing some research on Ludwig, and I was hoping you could get me in contact with the author.
I'm afraid Sir Richmond Chapel is deceased.
Oh.
However, his son is living.
Oh. Well, is there any way you can put me in touch with him?
And who are you doing this research for?
Well, I'm working with Professor Barkley from Yale University.
All right. Thomas Chapel's number in England is 41 20 555 771.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
Bye.
Chapel residence?
Hi, my name is Grace Nakimura. I'm calling from Rittersburg, Germany. Is Thomas Chappell there, please?
Speaking. What may I do for you, Miss Nakimura?
This is gonna sound crazy, but I have a copy of your father's biography on Ludwig II. I understand he had access to Ludwig's diary.
Yes.
Well, oh God, I'm not even sure. He didn't make a copy of it or anything, did he? Or perhaps he took good notes?
He wrote down a complete translation in English. He said he couldn't make headway with the German version. Ludwig's handwriting was rather brogue, you know.
He wrote down an English translation. Do you still have it?
Well, unfortunately, my father was allowed to see the diary only on the grounds that he wouldn't publish the entire work. I can't let you see it. Have you tried contacting the National Archive?
No, I don't have the kinds of connections your father did, or the time.
That's unfortunate, but I really cannot let it out of my hands.
I understand. It was just a shot in the dark.
Very well. The best of luck to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chappell.
I should get a letter off to Gabriel. I need to include a note to Über about the research permit.
Auf der Schreibmaschine konnte man A3 tippen, ne? Siehst du, können wir gleich zur Post bringen. So, Hus ist auch nicht mehr da. So, was ist mit den Blumen hier?
I wonder what kind of flowers these are.
Warte mal. Oh, die sind gar nicht da.
Herr Huber?
Ja.
Yes?
Oh,
Are the Smiths in their room?
Yeah, I believe so.
Could you ask them to come down, please?
Oh, ja, natürlich.
Now you just
kannte
tell
sich
Merle
aus.
what's going on.
Was für Dinge wusste er?
So Zeug.
ja.
I had a dream last night. I didn't remember it at first, but I saw something today at one of the museums.
What was the dream?
I was being chased in the woods by wolves. And I saw a sleigh. Ludwig was inside. He pulled me up, and I thought I was safe. But then he turned into a wolf.
So what do you think, Mother?
A dream of rescue is a spiritual guide dream. The High Priestess in Gabriel's cards must be linked to Ludwig somehow.
What do the wolves represent?
I'm a psychic, dear, not Freud. But the warning I got was about the black wolf, wasn't it? And the wolves in the dream. It must be the same danger.
It's so frustrating. The more I find out, the more questions I have.
Why don't you try a little communicating of your own? Ludwig's the link. Appeal to him. The answers may not come right away, but at least you'll give the guide something specific to say the next time she contacts you.
Isn't there any way that you could, you know, do a psychic reading on Ludwig or something?
To tell you the truth, I've been trying all day to make contact, but I only feel great despair. Ludwig's soul is not at peace.
I'd better go.
Anytime you need us, stop by.
And be careful now.
Thanks.
Die Frisur.
Grüß Gott, Frau Nakimura.
Grüß Gott. Haben Sie etwas für mich?
Nein, leider nicht. Brauchen Sie noch etwas?
Kann ich diesen Brief versenden?
Ja, 3 Mark bitte.
3 Mark. Übergewicht, hä? 3 Mark.
Dankeschön.
Bitte sehr. Brauchen Sie noch etwas?
Nein, danke.
Danke.
Bitte.
Ah. Darauf habe ich gewartet.
Gibt's das denn, die Lilien blühen schon?
Sehr schön.
Ja, aber es ist doch noch so kalt.
Native.
Für Sie ein Geschenk von der Madonna.
Oh no.
Nehmen Sie sie ruhig. Heute Nacht wird es kalt und sie wird sowieso erfrieren.
Thank you.
So, nehmen wir mal das Auto und fahren doch mal zum See. Und legen noch ein paar Blumen ans Grab, beziehungsweise an den Todesort. Ne? Weil, wie wir gelernt haben, spürt man ja Ludwig dort am meisten.
I'm trying to figure out what you want me to do, but I need more information to work with. If you can send any my way, I'd appreciate it. I hope I'm not losing my mind.
Okay. So.
Hi. You just had a phone call. It was Frau Gelder at the post office. She said a fax came in for you there.
Really? Fax?
I wonder what it was.
Maybe it's from Gabriel.
Don't hold your breath.
Okay. Da ist ein Fax angekommen. Wer nicht weiß, was ein Fax ist, war damals sehr teuer. Oh. Und es irgendwie nicht tot zu kriegen, dieses Medium, um irgendwelche Dokumente hin und her zu transferieren. Mit Unterschriften und, ne? Leider ist die Rechtsprechung schon so, dass die nicht mehr akzeptiert werden. Das größte Problem ist der Datenschutz.
Hallo, Frau Gelder. Haben Sie etwas für mich?
Ja, ein Fax. Ein sehr langes Fax.
Ein sehr langes Fax.
Das ist aber nicht vom Schattenjäger.
Ist okay. Dankeschön. Thomas Chapel. Oh.
Ein sehr langes Fax, 3 Seiten. Also wenn es jetzt die Abschrift einer Biografie ist, erwarte ich jetzt mehrere Seiten. Und das wäre dann so ein Stapel, ne? Du kannst nicht sicher gehen, wer das Fax wirklich zu Gesicht bekommt. Ist ja richtig, ist ja auch vollkommen in Ordnung. Aber es war halt, oder ist halt zum Einspruch erheben bzw. fristwahrenden Versenden gedacht gewesen. Dokumenten echt. Ja, ich habe ja einen Fax bekommen, damit ist der Vertrag zustande gekommen, bla bla. Wie gesagt, so eine Seite, je nachdem wie umfangreich der Inhalt war, ist ja meistens so ein Monochrom oder Schwarz-Weiß oder sonstiges übertragen worden. Später gab es noch Farbfaxe, aber die haben sich überhaupt nicht durchgesetzt zu ISDN-Zeiten. Hat Zeit gekostet. So eine A4-Seite dauert mal so eine halbe Minute bis Minute und das waren Gesprächszeiten. In der heutigen Zeit, wo man halt eine Flatrate hat für, weiß ich nicht, 9 € oder so und telefoniert, bis der Arzt kommt, hast du eben halt vor ein paar Jahren noch im Minutentakt bezahlt. Ich habe zum Beispiel meine allerersten Interneterfahrungen waren 1995, 96 mit AOL. Ja, es tut mir leid, war aber leider so. Und weil die Kosten tagsüber so teuer waren, habe ich dann nachts zwischen 2 und 5 Uhr in der Früh vor der Schule bin ich da extra aufgestanden, habe gesurft, weil in diesem Zeitraum es nur 10 Mark gekostet hat. 3 Stunden surfen. Und wenn man sich jetzt so vorstellt, was ein, das kommt ja auch aus dem Ausland, ne? Aus England, was das gekostet hat, dieses Fax zu übertragen. Holla die Waldfee. Da kannst du schon den einen oder anderen Goldbarren mit nach Hause schleppen für. Woher hat er eigentlich die Faxnummer? Ach so, wegen Rittersberg wahrscheinlich, okay. Er hat sich's doch mal anders überlegt. Hier, alles gut.
11th June 1872. Louis has convinced me to think matters through more thoroughly before I act. A trip it shall be then, to Shahin. It shall not alter my purpose, I feel, nor shall his compelling. The treaty is the ruin of my beloved Bavaria, and must be taken to task. 3rd July 1872. The pain gets so bad, I cannot hold a pen to write, but the horror is far worse than the pain. He says it was an accident, says that we can truly be one now, that it is a great adventure. I believe him 1 minute, and the next I can feel the flames of hell upon my heels. May God have mercy on my soul. 5th January 1874. By the power of Mary, Mother of God, I swear to refrain from the ultimate sin and to remain steadfast in my flesh. Sworn by the power of the lily, Eleanor. 30th August 1879. I will not falter, but will remain true. No matter the torment or longing, I will not yield. I will control the process. God grant me strength and will. By the grace and power of the monarchy and its allegiance. De Paul Leroy, Eleanor. 10th September 1880. It is all finished. Elizabeth warned me, and I discovered the truth at last. O most venomous viper at my very bosom, O lowest of the least worthy who ever breathed, my Judas, my devil, if I could tear my heart out and fling it after him in the dirt, I would. 12th December 1880. He continues to come, the devil. I will never look upon his hideous face again. He is afraid I will tell, and I might. To destroy him, I might. When I think of the accident, now that things are clear, I wonder, was it truly an accident, or was it the plot to kill me? If so, why did he not complete it then, instead of putting me in this torment? Could he have hated me so? I wish to God he had simply ended it there. 10th June 1881. Terror. Rapture. During W's music tonight, I felt a pulling. The horror nearly came upon me right there. Then the music turned, and it was gone. What can it mean? I must confide in the great friend. Perhaps he will know what has happened. 2nd August 1882. The experiments go better and better. W has proved as loyal and determined as ever I believed he would be in a matter of my salvation. He says he has the formula now. It remains only to put the finishing touches on the completed opera and to draw up the diagram for the crystals. Can it truly end? I scarce dare to hope. April 1883. The great friend is dead. How unjust that he should be taken from me now. Where is my chance at salvation? Why has God condemned me twice? 10th October 1885. There must be made clear funds for the crystals. Lies. Everyone lies. My own servants. What must I do? Must I sell one of my beloved castles? The crystals must be made. I grow daily less able to control my own will. How long will I be able to resist the ultimate sin? And the music is worthless without the device. Time is running out. The crystals must be made.
Die ultimative Sünde. Okay. Aber wir haben jetzt was, worüber sich ein netter Herr ganz doll freuen wird. Im Übrigen, hier guck mal, was ich habe.
Have you heard of Ludwig's diary?
Yes, but no one is allowed to see it.
It just so happens that I have a copy of an English translation right here. There's something I wanted to show you. Read this one.
August 1882. The experiments go better and better. They has proved as loyal and determined as ever. It remains only to put the finishing touches on the completed opera and to make up the diagram for the crystal. My God!
My God!
Wait, I want to show you something. I am not supposed to have looked at this myself, but I am here alone all day, so...
July 1881. Richard returned from his meeting with the king. Never have I seen him so pale. I was concerned for his heart. He would not speak with me, but immediately shut himself up in his study and started working on a new project. He will not tell me the first thing about it. He will only say that it was time he repaid his king.
It confirms Ludwig's diary. He wasn't crazy.
Yes, but Ludwig says that the opera was completed. Imagine that, completed. There's something else.
August 1882. We had a messenger tonight from the king. He brought a letter which Richard burnt. I did manage to see a bit of it. It said something about a great night in Munich and that it would be Richard's supreme triumph and someone else's destruction. Ludwig then wrote that even though he himself would probably die, his immortal soul would be freed thanks to Richard. I worry for poor Ludwig and for us. Where will we be if his madness continues? Surely someone will put an end to it. Wow.
There's one more.
May 1883. I sent Richard's sealed package to the king, as he instructed moments before he closed his eyes forever. I could not even bring myself to care what was in it. What could it matter now? Whatever it is, I hope it brings the king good memories of Richard. He did so much for my beloved.
The package.
The package. Kapitel 5.
She sounds delightful. I'd love to meet her.
Oh, she's a hoot, all right. Just pretend you don't have a penis around and you'll be fine. Got this inborn need to rip them off.
Now I'm really intrigued.
This one time, I'd gone off to this, well, party, you might say. And it was getting a bit hairy. Well, Gracie. Oh.
Dette. Komm her, Kleine.
Detta does not speak English, but then she has her own methods of communication.
I should leave you two kids alone.
Oh, don't be silly.
Lady in Red.
Friedrich, I can't just take your date.
Why not? I didn't expect her tonight. And for some reason I don't find myself in that mood. Besides, from what you've told me, you live like a monk down south at that castle. Your body needs some attention. Detta. Zeige ihm sein Schlafzimmer.
dieses Mörderamulett am Hals. Aber wir sind gleich fertig, Stilka. Ein bisschen machen wir noch, ein paar Minuten. So groß wie seine Handfläche. '90er. Das schon in den 90ern. Schöne Handschrift. Ach, die Saints kommen nicht mehr. Schade. Oh, when the Saints go marching in.
The men will be meeting here later today for the trip. I'm sure they won't wait for you, so you might want to be on time.
I'll be here. Sweet of you to worry, though. I'm not in the mood to communicate with the dead today.
Wir haben da noch was liegen lassen.
I recorded some of Ansel's conversation last night. Unfortunately, it's in German.
Ist doch egal. Ich verstehe das.
I'm sure whatever they said is in German. I need a translator.
Herr Übergrau. Herr Übergrau.
Nice plan. I don't think I'm gonna get down there.
Okay, er geht nicht nochmal runter.
I'd give it a shot, but I don't speak the language.
Was habe ich vergessen? Was habe ich vergessen?
What should I mail?
Was habe ich vergessen? Ah nee, das ist, kommt morgen. Also einmal durchrutschen hier. Ruhig. Der Herr Überkraut.
Guten Morgen, Gabriel. Another envelope came from Rittersberg. A request for me and a letter for you.
A letter for you?
Gabriel, I've been busy on this case, and it's starting to pay off. Thought I'd fill you in. There's definitely something going on with Ludwig II. I'm pretty sure he was involved with a werewolf. In fact, he was probably turned into one himself. Anyway, something happened to him on this hunting trip, and afterwards he fits the profile in the lore book to a T. It's really fascinating. There's an American couple here, the Smiths. They're from Pennsylvania, if you can believe it. Mrs. Smith has been telling me all about your fortune, and she's sure you're tied in with Ludwig somehow. She also told me to warn you to beware the Black Wolf. Have you learned anything about that yet? So don't tell me where you're staying, as if I care. Really, we're supposed to be a team, Gabriel. I'm holding up my end. I've about done all I can down here, and if you want, I can join you there soon. Perhaps I'll see something I recognize from my research. I'm serious. Grace.
Christ, she's losing it. Ludwig II, a werewolf. Yeah, right.
Hatten wir nicht was dazu gepackt? Ja.
I'm not sure why I'd want to show him that.
Okay.
Can I bother you for another favor? I need something translated, and I need somebody I can trust to do it.
And you're asking me? You obviously don't know German lawyers.
Harry, you're such a kidder. Okay. Here it is.
Wir müssen miteinander reden.
We should talk?
Nein.
No.
Es ist meine Karriere, verdammt noch einmal. Vielleicht sogar mehr, wenn die...
His career is in danger even if the police...
Ich habe Ihnen doch gesagt, nicht darüber zu sprechen.
I told you not to speak of it.
Aber ich denke mir, dass die Polizei bereits weiß, dass unsere Wölfe nichts damit zu tun haben. Die können einen Test machen an den Körpern.
The police must know that our wolves are not responsible. There are tests they can perform on the bodies.
Gut. Ihre geflüchteten Wölfe sind keine Killer. Was soll's? Halten Sie nur Ihren Mund. Sie sind damit besser dran.
So, your escape wolves are not the killers. What's the problem?
Aber Herr Knight, er kam gestern Morgen zu meinem Büro. Er hat viele Fragen gestellt.
He says you've been asking a lot of questions.
Worüber?
About what?
Über die Wölfe.
About the wolves. Who are these men?
Just friend. I think there's more.
Was ist los, von Eigner? Ich muss mit jemand anderem reden.
He doesn't want to talk, says he has someone else to speak to.
Ich habe mir gedacht, wissen Sie etwas über Großbergs Tod?
Do you know anything about Großberg's death?
Wieso sollte ich?
Why the hell should I?
Nun, ganz einfach. Ich gab Ihnen seinen Namen.
I gave you his name.
Und?
And?
Herr Knight, frag mich, ob ich Großberg kenne.
He says you asked him if he knew Großberg.
Was?
I think I know what happens next.
You know, it would be a great tragedy if the Ritterline were to die out. A great, great tragedy. I'm not just talking about for the sake of our firm, but...
I know what I'm doing, Harry.
Ich bin immer wieder erstaunt. Ich habe gerade parallel nochmal geguckt. dass, also ich weiß nicht, wie das Team von Sierra dazu gekommen ist. Ich bin immer wieder erstaunt, dass welche Schauspieler sie eben halt genommen haben. Ne? Das ist Harry. Und Harry heißt Friedrich Solms. Und Harry ist Aristokrat. Ist ein Nachfahre halt, ist sogar Prinz, wenn ich mich nicht irre. Irgendwo hatte ich das hier, ne? Prinz Friedrich de Solms-Baruth. Und sein Großvater war am Attentat von, hier steht ja, Demand Return of the West, Nazis took from Prince in plot to kill Hitler, weil eben halt der Großvater Hitler umbringen wollte, wurde ihm halt das Ding konfisziert, weggenommen, hast du nicht gesehen. Und ich weiß, ich bin immer noch am gucken, wie die überhaupt dazu gekommen sind, ihn zu casten und zu nutzen. Ich meine, er ist eindeutig ein Native Speaker, ne? Das kriegt man halt mit und hört man. Und ja, genauso auch Dr. Klingmann. Dr. Klingmann ist gebürtiger Deutscher, ist deutscher Schauspieler gewesen. Oder ist 22 gestorben, sehe ich gerade. Und den hat man ja hier gerade in den Dialogen gehört. Vernünftig sprechend. Ich denke mal, für den Rest ist es ein bisschen schwieriger gewesen, da die Dialoge zu sprechen. Gut, wir machen hier einen Speicherstand, dass wir hier beim nächsten Mal weitermachen können. Keine Ahnung, welcher Stream das jetzt hier an der Stelle ist. Das, was würde ich mir noch angucken? Das Agathe Bauer oder das können wir gleich machen. Aber hier für YouTube ist das mal Feierabend. Vielen Dank fürs Zusehen. Ja, wir machen beim nächsten Mal hier weiter. Wir sind schon recht weit. Wir sind über die Hälfte raus. Auf Punkte sagen das ja auch schon, dass wir drüber sind. Sodass wir wahrscheinlich in den nächsten 3, 4 Abenden, denke ich mal, durch sind. Möglicherweise. Ich meine, wir haben es ja schon ein paar Mal durch. Zuletzt erst vor ein paar Monaten in Deutsch. Aber ich bin wirklich positiv überrascht, dass der Slapstick natürlich in der deutschen Synchrofassung nur bedingt hier auftaucht, ne, aufgrund der Mimik und Gestik. Ich bin wirklich überrascht, wie gut sie das versucht haben, eben halt diese Brücke zu schlagen mit einem Amerikaner in Deutschland. Ne. In der deutschen Synchro ist halt ein Amerikaner, der Deutsch spricht, in Bayern. Mit bayerischen Akzent. Also sprich, wo sie die Sprachbarriere einfach zwischen Hochdeutsch und Bayerisch gemacht haben. Deswegen, ich finde es gut, vor allem, dass die ganzen Schauspieler das mitgemacht haben, vor allem eben halt Grace. Grace spricht, glaube ich, fast mit die meisten deutschsprachigen oder Dialoge von nicht-native deutsch sprechenden Schauspielern. Insofern, Hut ab, ne? Genau, also hier, bis zum nächsten Mal. Euer FireFox.